I've heard a lot of people say Sung Jinu is not good and needs to be balance changed in the game, which is really interesting. Are you of that opinion? Post it down below. One thing is for sure, though, if you have been struggling like me in certain pieces of content, some of it does come down to our boy here. So I'm going to do us all a favor and take off all the swag because his ass don't deserve nothing. All right, give me that. Rider is Boo. Bo, excuse me, Boo. Unequipped. You don't even get the huntsman, bro. You don't get nothing. You are garbage. Sung, I'm sorry. They make us use this trash character all the time. You know what? This is the final straw. I've had enough. I've had it absolutely enough. I've just had enough. All right? Just go. You can't have anything else. Just go. Where is it young looking Sung Jinu? Like there's no real time skip there, but where's like pre-chat Jinu? That's the one I need here. Anyways, guys, for today's video, we're covering the new blog post, and that was all a bit, but some of you do feel that way. Anyways, hopefully you'll be excited for what we have here. My name is DFree. We make soul leveling rise content, among other things. Make sure you subscribe and support through the content creator program linked down below for an awesome free 1,000 soul essence. And there's also another 5th mystery code that I'll be covering really soon on the channel that I'll be giving out as well. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Sorry for what these mean people said to you. I'm sorry. The Hunters Association has a notice for you. Oh my God! I almost thought it said it noticed me. I was gonna be like, me? You noticed me? Here are the details scheduled to be added and changed throughout the update on 8/22. All right, so with this, there's probably another new code. Lin-san, thank you for the subscription. Make sure you subscribe like Lin did as well. Oh my God, waifus! I just wanted to see the code. This is a long-ass blog post. Good Lord. This is a massive post. And I still don't see the code. All right, well, sorry, it's going to be in the video. There were 4 other codes that came out recently. If I don't remember to, please let me know in the comments, but I'll post it as a pinned comment. So go there. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Addition of new guild system. A new guild content where hunters from all around the world can play together regardless of the server will be added. In the guild system, you can challenge guild-exclusive bosses or enjoy minigames. You can collect guild coins by completing guild missions and purchased items. The guild menu can be this is all just old shit. Am I crazy? Oh, I'm like, what the hell is going? Dude, that was a total DFree moment. It took me until just then to realize I was reading the wrong post. I was like, what the hell are they talking about the guild for? All right, this is probably there's probably also another one. But anyways, they have another notice for us. All right, new main character chapter coming, instance and encore dungeon mission renewal, new hunters SSR Harper and Charlotte, and exclusive weapons. Are you guys summoning for them? I think I'm gonna skip them, and I'm not really interested. I'm sure they're gonna be good, but I'm not interested. New costume, new shadow. Apparently the new shadow is not Kaisel. It is going to be that golem. Apparently Kaisel was delayed from what I saw from Alpha Leaker. Maximum level and activity funds expansion. That's nice. New hunter archive story and secret library. Whatever for me. New feature in the guild system and improvements. Okay, I'll take that. New events, rune skills, and artifact option balance adjustment. Other content improvements and changes. New packs, of course, and system improvements and bug fixes. All right, after the maintenance, everyone will log in for this awesome reward. So 500 stones, some gate keys, and some other fun stuff there. All right, so all the content related to a 100th day celebration is all ending. So make sure you complete all of that today. All of it, the currency, everything related to it, the events, the gachas for Go Gun Hee, Hansemi, those are also leaving. All right, the bonus tab in the total purchases is being reset. Okay, whatever. The maintenance schedule may be subject to change. Okay, let's go back, see the other post here. So there should have been another. I'll find it. All right, here's a look at one here where the skills are getting enhanced. This came out a couple of days ago, and they're scheduled to go live with this update as well. Hone In from Vital Strike and On Point from Vital Strike. Those runes are getting enhanced damage-wise. In particular, look at the damage number. 512 to 798, 1143, 1674. Holy shit. Good Lord. That's a massive jump between heroic and legendary there. Same goes for hone in. My goodness. All right, dagger toss. So, my God, electrical shock here. 277 to 724. Dude, 317 to 1084, 338 to 1430. Son of a bitch. And then even the last part deals damage equal to 50, 100, or 200% of attack. That's 150, 300, and 600. Shit. They really try to make sure that we are using these skills. And that's just one rune, right? Like, the other ones they don't have as much room for growth, I guess. Electric Shock was one of my favorite ones, though. I just didn't think it did enough damage. And my God, they're definitely trying to fix that here, aren't they? Ascension and Bombardment and Detonation all receive damage bonuses, but nowhere near on par to that. Electric Shock, just on first view, may be the hardest hitting move in the game. Okay. Relative to the level, because here again, the jump. So one thing I'm noticing here is the jump in rarity for runes wasn't massive. Like 476 to 507 to 565 between the three different rarities. It's getting bigger. Like look at this. Look at this. It's like, what is this? Like almost 100%, a little bit less, like 95, whatever. I'm bad at math. Added here from Bombardment, but it's like it's 400% added here. That's not really how that works. Like I can't say 400% plus 10. You get my point, right? There's another 400 on there. So the gaps are getting wide. Okay. So like the gap is still massive compared to before and after, no matter the rarity. But that legendary rarity has a lot of value. You can tell that's one of the things that they wanted to fix here was add value to legendary. All right, so Black Hole for Commander's Touch, one of my favorite skills as well. Double Slash, Full Moon Wheel, I think, is that the fire one? I like that one if that's the fire one. Crushing Blow and Light and Break, all these skills getting buffed. Some of these are getting buffed by like twice as much. It's really massive. Like, look, 466 to 945. Wow. The issues where certain skill link effects can be stacked when using certain weapons after equipping Sonic Stream magnifying glasses or slashes will be fixed. Oh, they're out here looking at these glitches we're finding. The issue where the defense ignored effect is not applied normally in the first and last hit of the equipped mutilate stroke of lightning will be fixed. I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest. All right, so this is one of the primary ways they're going to buff Sung Jinu, and it makes a lot of sense because outside of tweaking his weapons, his skills, right, which obviously means his runes and all the variations of said skills, but you get my point. Outside of doing that, there's not a lot of leeway aside from just flat out giving him more power / more stat points. Like it's not a lot of leeway. What they could do is improve his base stats, right? That would help a ton, actually. That would go a long way, is improving his base stats so you get more out of investing those additional points. But this is another huge buff to Jinu here. And I haven't read it, but there may be something else. Anyway, once again, quick reminder, make sure you're subscribing and posting down below what you think about these. Do you have any of these at legendary rarity by chance? I think I may have one or two of these. That's another thing too, is like, even if you're a free player, you probably have at least a couple legendaries. So that's kind of how things are, assuming you've been playing for a while. Artifact balance adjustments. The artifact option, mana recovery increase, will be newly added. That will be taking over for healing given increase, right? The artifact sub option will change to mana recovery increase. Correct, yeah. So they're adding mana recovery instead of healing given. Healing given was so unbelievably, it would just ruin artifacts for me. Mana recovery, I'll take it. I'm not mad at it. Also, really solid as an option now for Amire, right? This only applies to healing given. Okay. The rate will be adjusted to add the percentage increase option in the main option for armor, gloves, and necklaces. For each part, a percentage increase option will be added except for the existing ability options. Okay. No other options will be added besides the percentage increase. Only items with adjustments are separate as before and after. Okay. Let's see if there was anything else in here. Aha! I found the actual dev note, but it's all right. They're going to go a little bit more in detail on this. And there's also going to be a stream that comes out, I believe, today, and there was a Korean stream a couple of days ago, too. We see many comments from hunters regarding the character design, concepts, and performance that you expect from the game, especially around the time of the live stream. Your feedback made us realize that our preparations were insufficient, and it gave us a lot to think about. We believe that Hunters with a fresh concept would help refresh the game's atmosphere, but the result did not align with the expectation of our hunters. For the characters that will be introduced in the future, we will carefully prepare them to not only fit in the theme of solo leveling, but also meet the standards of satisfaction that our hunters expect. Typically, when they say stuff like that, it takes a few months to really realize that, by the way, especially if they're doing any crazy drastic changes. It typically takes a few months. We've also heard feedback from hunters that the opening timing of the announced raid-ups feels too close. Charlotte and Harper are twin sisters, deeply connected within the story. They share a common experience and work through the same events together, which is why we wanted to present their intertwined stories to you. This led to the decision to release both characters within a short time frame. Yeah, what do you guys think about them being a duo character? Like, instead of like two separate characters, just one character that has two units in it, or one unit with two characters in it, I guess is the proper way to say it. It would look fine. Basically, your skills would just swap you, and you don't have to have full functionality of the other character. There would be a main character and then a sub character that pops in. You know, they jump in and then do their attack and then leave, and you revert back to the base character that you had. I think you can make that work. I think that works fine in other games like Legends, for example. They have that with their assist mechanic. I think that could work, and it would be better than getting two separate characters. Depending who you ask, I guess. Depending who you ask. Because some people want more characters. In my opinion, that would be better, though. This led to the decision to release both characters at the same time, though the raid-up draw will start on 9/12 and last for 4 weeks, and Charlotte raid-up starts a week later and lasts 3 weeks. We had thoroughly discussed the double raid-up in advance, and since we expected that it might feel burdensome, we extended the raid-up period compared to previous raid-ups. Additionally, we plan to distribute raid-up draw tickets throughout events. Okay, so they're trying to alleviate it. But the thing is, no matter how they try to alleviate it, they're clearly intent on ramping up the release schedule. They did the same thing with Hansemi and Gogunhi. Back-to-back releases, where prior it was new characters every other week, right? Now it seems like they're trying to go every week, pretty much. Maybe two one off, something like that, because there wasn't anything this week. I still feel they're trying to ramp it up, because putting them out consecutively is a big deal relative to having a space in between. But I think in aggregate, it's still largely the same amount of characters, because what they did actually was they went 2 characters back-to-back weeks, and then they went, I think, 2 weeks with no character. Right? That's what they did. And now we're getting 2 characters back-to-back weeks, 2 weeks. So they moved it forward instead of going character, no character, character, no character, bi-weekly. So I guess in aggregate, it's still the same. But you feel more pressure. You feel more pressure if they drop them closer than separately, I guess. I don't know. What do you think about that? It's kind of weird. I do think they're trying, though, to up the schedule. They're trying to make changes, clearly. Okay, about skill balance. Our guiding principle in managing the game is to avoid nerfing the balance that hunters are currently experiencing. We believe that hunters have noticed our commitment to this principle through previous buffs, including those to characters like Seoju or Sa. Nerfing characters would turn the satisfaction you've experienced into disappointment, which is why we aim to maintain the overall philosophy moving forward. As for Sonic Stream magnifying glass slashes, however, we had to go through a lot of consideration and discussion because too much damage was dealt upon activation. That skill was crazy strong. It was crazy strong. I didn't realize they were nerfing it. After careful consideration, we've concluded to buff all the runes to the equivalent level. Oh, that's what happened. That's why some of these buffs are so disgusting. I mean, look at this decimate. I didn't realize they were buffing that. Look at 760 to 1938, 744 to 20. Okay, so that skill was doing so much freaking damage that it was outperforming everything by a landslide, and it was. And so they said, you know what, we've got to buff everything else. we got to bring everything back in line again because we messed up with this one. Instead of nerfing, they don't want to nerf. That's really interesting. I'm glad to have more context. That's really interesting. That may not be, it's good now. We're happy about it now because it's a massive buff to Sung in a lot of forms of content. But my only worry when devs do stuff like this is what's the trickle down to other pieces of content? Is Workshop gonna slightly be harder? That's just one example. But like any future content, will it be harder than it would have been because they adjust this? Now, that's a little bit of a sliding scale. But as we mentioned earlier, I mean, look at the disparity in damage here between rarities. There's 1,000 more on here between the base rarity and the legendary. So, like, while it's good, some people are going to get left in the dust if they make content any harder with the expectation of people having these, especially at higher levels, right? But I think in aggregate, it's a good thing because basically, not all of them, I don't know if all of them did, but a lot of the skills got buffed. We previously revealed the details regarding the buffs and have prepared balance adjustment measures to increase the type of buffs receiving runes and buffing them. So I guess they're doing more. I think they're doing more. Okay, so they announced, the one that we looked at earlier was them announcing it, but they're doing more. Cold Storm is getting buffed. Jesus. Cold Storm there. Oh, man. They have to buff the ultimate. They have to buff the ultimate, right? Like, they have to buff the ultimate. Because the runes are going to start doing, especially with how frequently you can use a skill. They're out damaging the ultimate, I've got to imagine. I'm sure that prior to this, that other skill was out damaging the ultimate, to be honest. Decimate is going crazy. Internal Wound is going crazy. Jeez. A lot of these are just flat out doubles. Flame Slash going up a decent bit. Cutting Rush. Okay. Vertical Arts. Gale is tripling damn near. Jesus. The counterattack damage goes up to 1,000% of Janu's attack. And the base damage goes from 463 to 2,400 on Vertical Arts' counter. Goodness. Oh, all the multi-strike buffs. Let's go. But it's only damage, man. If only it was just a little bit more of a breaker. Ooh, Death's Dance? I guess they really are just buffing everything at this point, huh? Armor Break? Yeah, they're buffing everything. That's not surprising. It's not surprising. It's just funny to see it. Death Dance Wildfire, that's my favorite one right there. Ooh, doubled in damage. I've got a legendary on that, I'm pretty sure. Finisher and Liberation doubling. Crushing Blow. What's happening with Armor Break? Dude, Multi-Shadow Strike may be disgusting. Attack and defense scaling seems crazy to me. Especially if Janu's got, like, Warmonger on. I bet he does a crap ton of damage with that skill. I bet he does. Decimation and Iceberg as well. We've already passed 1,000 days and are in our 5th month since the grand launch, and we've been racing forward. We regret that we have been frequent oversights and details. Our greatest reward as developers is seeing hunters enjoy the game. Other than the Answer Zones check-in, we're preparing Heroic Skill Selection Chest Volume 2 for hunters to claim at the update period. Although it's a small gift, we hope the hunters can appreciate the various blah, blah, blah. Okay. Wonder if there was anything else. Was there anything else that came out today? Just the recap of the live stream, which is also pretty pertinent information.
I'm ready.
Oh, here they are, the 4 codes. So the 4 codes, boom, there you go. If anybody's asking in the comments, please timestamp this video. They're right there. All right. Are the newly added skill runes unusually strong? Was a question. They answered it. I'm not going to read these answers. Our plan was to enhance Sung Jinu's performance throughout skill balancing, but there were unintended bugs, and it was confirmed that they dealt more damage than expected. However, considering the impact of gameplay, we decided to keep them as they are, as they seemed effective in terms of fun. Okay, so they wanted to buff Jinu anyway, I guess. When and how will healing give an option change? Sung Jinu is too weak. Isn't he weaker than other hunters? I'll read this one. In the original work, Sung Jinu is a character but becomes stronger starting from the Demon's Castle and Jeju Island raid episodes. Okay. Is that a bit of a cop-out answer? The development team is also considering additional growth for Sung Jinu in various ways, aiming for the Jeju Island raid update. We're preparing new features such as Jinu's QTE rune skill, ultimate skill, and new job change. Another ultimate? That's not surprising. QTE runes? Okay, I'll take it. The QTEs are like the death and stuff like that you trigger every now and again. Yeah, that's a little bit of a cop-out answer. I mean, I get it. It's mostly right, but it's a cop-out. This is a game, right? But it's also a cop-out when you got other characters blowing up content in the game way stronger than Jinu. That doesn't make any sense. He he should pretty much always be the strongest character in the game. He's Jinu. He was already at that point. I mean, other than characters like Thomas, national level characters, by the point of the story we're at now, he's basically the strongest character already. So anyway, in team fights, hunters waste their ultimate skills too often, which is very inconvenient. The AI for hunters is constantly being improved. For guild fights and team fights, we're working on making it easier. The ranking calculations for battle at a time seems too long. Yes, that does take a long time. Real-time communication. When will the issue having a red dot, though there are no additional rewards, be fixed? I hate the red dots. Tell us more about double rate ups. I don't care. I do care, but I'm not worried about it. For this deck completion, it's anticipated the 100 supplies will be necessary, so we're preparing for a double rate up format. We'll see when we get there. Please explain bracelets elemental weakness not being applied correctly. We apologize for inconvenience. The issue is scheduled to be fixed. The rewards for acquiring hunters with advancement 10 or higher seems to need improvement. Okay. The difficulty of Battlefield of Trials challenges become too high. I guess that's fair. Some of those, that's the one with the stages, right? Those last few stages are pretty hard. I want to see guild rankings. Okay. There are no issues. It should be scheduled for late in October. Okay. Seems like some hunters are getting leaked early. Sometimes hunters who are not yet released may appear in the lobby due to art assets. However, as the specs are not finalized internally, you don't have to assume that these details will be shown. That did not answer that question. Please update the rate and special summons list. It's too difficult to attain artifacts with desired effects. We're preparing an event related to artifact events. Okay. Artifact effects, excuse me. When will Blessing Stone slot expansions be available? The planning for the slot expansion has been reviewed, but it has not yet been confirmed for an update. We'll provide details. So it's something they're thinking about. Okay. Are there any plans to add PvP? There are no plans to add PvP content this year, although we know there are hunters who enjoy PvP. We'll focus on single-player content for the remainder of the year. So they're thinking about it. It'll probably, if they're working on it, it's not going to be here this year. That's fair. It takes a while to develop that anyway. Is there a solution for overheating issues? Yeah, no. This game, it nuked. On phones? Good Lord. If you don't got the right phone, maybe on iPhones it's good because they're all, you know, the software is the same. It's not hard for these devs to work with that versus 30 different Android variants. But yeah, it's not great. It's great on my gaming phones, but that you shouldn't need to buy a gaming phone for Soul Leveling Arise. Manhwa original hunters, especially Choi Jongin and Baek Yoonho, are too weak. We continuously review and improve all hunters, including Manhwa original ones. We have been buffing underperforming hunters. We'll continue to monitor them. The rewards for subscriptions are too low. We have discussed and decided to increase the rewards for subscriptions. Details are provided in an update notice. Thank you, because they're valuable, but the side rewards is not great. Like, what is it, like 5,000 gold a day? Like, that doesn't do anything for me. Half the time I don't even bother claiming it. It does nothing for me. Please release a costume. We're currently working on a costume. You don't got to worry about that. There's going to be so many costumes for Jinu. 2.0 update. One of the most exciting updates or episodes from the original game, the upper floors of the Demon Castle, is being updated. This update will include new story chapters, level expansions, and a renewal of encore missions and instance dungeons. Additionally, there will be updates to Proof of the Strong and renew Battlefield of Time. They didn't show it here, but they had slides showing a lot of this stuff. Like, for example, encore and instance, I think they're going up to 20 floors. Something like that. We'll see that stuff when it's live, of course. An artifact crafting event is coming as well. Since it can be challenging to obtain desired effects for artifacts through farming alone, we're performing a artifact crafting event. This event will allow you to choose and craft artifacts with the effects you want. Interesting. Well, guys, there is clearly a ton coming in this new update for Soul Leveling Arise. I've got to say, honestly, regardless of the bugs or issues the last couple of updates, or just in general for the last few months of the game, the updates have been killer. Like, they have been really, really, really pumping out a lot of content with the updates. So if you agree, post down below what your favorite part of today's video was. And if you guys want to see some tips on how you can stay ahead of the curve and max out all your characters in Soul Leveling Arise, click on the video currently on the screen.